Hey guys, what's up? It's MatchPoint here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you an ultimate guide for the proximity alarm, which is a new defender gadget in Rainbow Six Siege. So if you do find this video useful, consider dropping a like on the video. And if there are any topics that you would like me to cover next, make sure to comment them down below so I know you're interested. If you do have any questions about the video, feel free to pop by when I am live streaming over on Twitch and ask me them over there. Or you can in the Discord, which is a great place to ask any of your questions, and there will be a link down below. If you are new around here, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the video, so let's get on into it. Now, this proximity alarm that has been introduced with the new season in Steel Wave is going to be a defender gadget which will emit a beeping noise when an attacker gets too close to it. It does have a certain range on this, and there will be a clip on your screen showing you the range, and when the attacker gets close enough to it, it will emit a beeping noise, and this is going to alert your team on where the attackers are going to be pushing from. It's going to provide you and your team with a lot of intel that you can use. Now, I am going to be going ahead and giving you the operators that have got access to this new proximity alarm, and also what gadget they have gone ahead and lost in the replacement of it. Now, first up, we are going to be having Castle, who's gone ahead and lost his impact grenades for that new proximity alarm. Kavira has got rid of the bulletproof camera, and now she does have the proximity alarm. Goyo lost the impact grenades for that new proximity alarm. Mirror got her barbed wire removed for it. Oryx also has this proximity alarm, however he lost his bulletproof camera to it. Rook got his barbed wire taken away, but he now does have that new proximity alarm. Tachanka lost his shield for it. Wamai lost the barbed wire, and the recruit will also have that proximity alarm as a gadget. Defenders will have access to 2 of these proximity alarms in their loadout, and as well, the range can go through surfaces. So for example, if you were to position one of your proximity alarms on the stairs, for example, they would be able to trigger it through the other side when they can't actually see that proximity alarm, emitting that beeping noise, alerting your team where the enemies are pushing from. Now that we have the info locked down for these proximity alarms, I'm going to be giving you tips for the operators that do have them, as some of their loadouts have definitely switched up a little bit. And as well, I'll also be giving you a few tips on positioning those proximity alarms and where you should be placing them. And first of all, we are going to be diving into the positioning of the proximity alarms. Now, the proximity alarms can very easily be taken out. All they need is to be shot and they will be gone. There are several other ways of countering them, such as knifing them as well, but the easiest one here is to go ahead and shoot them out, and it's very easy to counter. Now, for the ground rules of these proximity alarms, you want to make sure that you are tucking them away, hiding them from the attackers, so it's very hard for them to find it. And quite simply, what you should be doing here is taking advantage of the feature that these proximity alarms, the range on them, can actually go through surfaces. It doesn't mean they can't be hiding out in plain sight. For example, if you are on coastline, a good position for these proximity alarms, one example would be on the blue stairs. What you can do is place your proximity alarm on that white pillar. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to mean that the attackers are going to have to travel all the way up the stairs to go ahead and take out this proximity alarm. Bearing in mind, that beeping noise is going to be constantly emitting because they are going to be within the range of it, because like I mentioned before, it can travel through surfaces. And again, these proximity alarms are really useful, extremely valuable to you and your team. Now, while you might be thinking here, well, it's very easy to counter it, they can quite simply just shoot it out. Well, it's going to expose them. When you're going ahead and taking out that proximity alarm, you aren't covering your back. You're being exposed because you're focusing on something else. This is a great opportunity for a defender to use the intel from that beeping noise, swoop in and take out the attacker. As well, you can use them to contest the key areas and the key POIs of the map. For example, the 90 corridor on Villa, you can use these proximity alarms for that extra intel to alert you when someone is coming by. And remember, there are quite many good hiding spots for this, as they are only small. You can place them under chairs, under desks, under shelves, anything really. As well, tucking them in between the plant pots on the map does make it that little bit harder for the attackers to take it out. As well, use the map knowledge that you do have. Use it to lock down the key entry points for the attackers, place those proximity alarms down there, and use that intel wisely to set up where the attackers are going to be pushing from. Now, we are going to be moving on to a few tips for the operators with proximity alarms. Now, I'm not going to go through every individual operator, that would take way too long. Instead, I'm going to go through some of the defined roles that you will be playing as in Siege. one being the roamer, another being the anchor. Kafira is going to be a fantastic operator now when roaming with this proximity alarm. What you can do as a roamer is use these proximity alarms to set it up for your flank watch in case you are getting cleared. Not only can you use these proximity alarms to give yourself intel and a pounce on the attackers with a flank, but as well you can use it to save your own back. Common placements for this as a roamer are going to be the places where the attackers are most likely to travel throughout the map. These are the highly contested areas in which you can flank them. Now as an anchor, what I would recommend you to do with your proximity alarms is place them down on the common push points for the attackers. If you're able to identify where the attackers are going to be pushing from guaranteed with this proximity alarm emitting that beeping noise early on in the round, this is really going to set you and your team up quite nicely. You'll be able to adjust your setup to counter that push. Use them to gain that intel that you need whilst anchoring. Place them on the push points where the attackers are going to be coming from. Use your map knowledge for this and you will be able to identify their entry point. As well, make sure that you aren't going to be placing these proximity alarms too far away from you or where a teammate would be, as you are going to need to listen out for that intel after all. But whatever you do, don't place these proximity alarms near where the Melusi Banshees are, as these really do help out with that intel gathering and there's no need to have two intel gatherer gadgets in the same position. The same will also apply for those operators who do have these similar gadgets. If you are requiring any other tips and tricks for the new season or operator guides for Ace and Melusi, well, I've already covered them on the channel and there will be cards on the end screen for you. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. If you did or you found this video useful, then make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more tips and tricks like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.